Wake up, everyone. It is America's Supermom. Today, I want to pose the question: what is the difference between excuses and quitting? The difference between excuses and quitting. Well, my definition of quitting or an excuse is a reason for not showing up. And if you're not showing up, that's a form of quitting. You're not showing up. You're not facing up to the reality of whatever it is, that you aspiring to do. It's hard work to have a goal and to be focused and miss out on certain things because you have chosen a particular path. But it takes that consistent action of showing up no matter what that allows you to be in a position where the reward is so much sweeter. I look over the course of my life and, I'm just doing a lot of reflection. We're on the road to 50, and that's half a century, 50 years. I remember when I was a kid, if I heard somebody was 50 years old, I'm thinking, what? They are old. I would have put them in a group home or something, or old folks home, just because that's how far that number was from me. And I just couldn't believe that someone lived to be that long. 50 to me was old. And, I just look now as I reflect in my own life, the wisdom, the experiences that really are wrapped into someone's age. And so many of us, we've accomplished a lot, we've done a lot of things. And, as I listen to the stories of other people, being a podcast host, everyone's story is different. So many people have packed so much wisdom and experiences into their what sometimes looks like small lives. I was able to make an acquaintance with Oleg Lahi, and he is Russian, and he was adopted by an American family. He left his home country. I've met so many people from all over the world, and their stories are just jaw dropping. You just would not even begin to scratch the surface on some of the things that people share and even think some of these things took place by looking at them. And it is when we begin to make connections with people and listen intently and from a place of intentionality that we learn that there is so much more to life than what is on the surface. It really is that inner work that gives us the perseverance, the ability to move forward in a way that's meaningful, that allows us to build legacies and create deeper relationships from desiring something internal rather than external. So many of us, we get caught up in the shiny object syndrome, going for the next promotion, the new car, the nice house. All these things are external. They're out of our control. Let's say you're going for that dream home and that you feel is going to complete you, and it burns down in a wildfire that's going on right now on the West Coast. I mean, you're tying your happiness into something that can be gone in a moment's notice, and you have nothing to do about it at all. There's so many things that are outside of your control when you aspire to acquire external objects. Or, you might say, well, I want a better relationship. I want people to love me and things like this. But, it's based on your definition of love. It should be. Because if you allow other people the control to decide how they're going to express love to you, then you're giving your power away. You're allowing them to dictate your happiness. So these are some of the questions that, we really should be mindful of asking ourselves and answering in a way that's truthful so that we can move forward in life, with a strong sense of clarity and understanding that, it's no one else's responsibility to be the hero, to allow us to have the life that we want to have. It's totally up to us. We have the power to choose to be happy and to make conscious decisions to do that. So today I challenge you to quit making excuses and quit not showing up for yourself. Begin today to show up and be the person that you want to be. Now, are we going to make bad decisions sometimes? Are we going to say things that we shouldn't say? Are we going to get distracted? These things could happen. But if you choose to show up for yourself, you're going to be intentional with your time and deciding that you want something different than what you're doing right now. If you are comfortable with where you are right now, but then you're aspiring to get something more than what you have right now, you have a decision to make. Because if you want something different, you have to let go of what you currently have in order to have room to grab what it is that you would like to have. So that involves letting go of some things that are not going to serve you. Everything that you have now is not going to level up with you. And that's with mindset, relationships, patterns, habits. You have to really test each habit and pattern and think, is this really going to serve me on my next level? And if it doesn't, you have to make the conscious decision to show up for yourself and let go of it, because it's not going to help you on your journey. It's not going to do anything but be a distraction as you level up to a higher place, because it's always going to be nagging and pulling you behind. So today, my answer to excuses and quitting is that they're the same thing. To me, I interpret them as not showing up for myself, and I choose every day to show up for myself, to not make excuses, and to understand if there is a reason why I didn't show up, ask why I didn't to myself, take the accountability, and accept the consequence for not showing up. If you are not getting opportunities to move and level up, you are not positioning yourself to receive those type of things. When they come your way, are you shying away, coming up with an excuse why you can't do it? Justifying why you are not allowing yourself to move forward. And if that's you, today, you need to stop that. You need to quit so that you can show up for yourself and live a more fulfilled life. So, today's challenge is to really think about how are your excuses serving you? How is quitting serving you? And if it's not serving you, let it go and choose today to show up in every manner possible. Bye for now.